Stop. Don't scroll past this. We've got some important things to talk about. We got the CPI numbers that came out today, and I want to give you my opinion on some things that I see that could play out that I don't hear anyone else talking about, so you're going to want to make sure and stick around and hear this. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name's Josiah, and I trade stocks and cryptocurrencies for a living, and if you hate making money, this is not the channel for you. If you like making money, if you like learning about stocks, crypto, and investing, be sure you hit that subscribe button. I try to give you the plays that I'm doing each and every day, as well as give you my opinion on where I see things going. Try to keep these videos short so that you get all the information. None of the fluff, just the facts. So, hit the subscribe button if you like that. Hit the like button if you're making some money off these videos. Let's get into it. So, of course, we had the CPI data come out today, and everything was pretty much right on par with where they expected it, which I'll be honest was a surprise for me because I really thought that inflation would move up a little bit. At least I know where I'm at. It seems like everything has been moving upward, but it come in exactly pretty much where they was estimating that it would. Now, what does that mean for us? Normally, that would mean a little bit of a bounce in the market maybe, but then we've got all this stuff going on with the bank collapses. And of course, that's put a lot of fear in the market, a lot of pressure out in the market. And of course, we seen that yesterday. We seen the markets go from being like 1% down to 1% up, and then we pretty much closed flat on the day. S&P just down by 0.14% yesterday, Dow down by 0.28, and then we had the NASDAQ up almost 0.5%. So pretty much flat on the day there. Now we got the pre-market this morning. We got the SPY spiking up. We're looking at 0.93% here in the pre-market. So that's a pretty good move upward. And a lot of my watch list in the green, and in the green by pretty significant numbers. So that's not to be unexpected. We had two huge days down last week. And if you've been following me for any length of time, you know that I've been overall bearish on the market, looking for that retracement to about 3,600 on the S&P 500. So you kind of know where my standpoint is. But as an investor, we have to be fluid. We have to listen to the information that's coming out, and we have to be able to move and change our direction. And I'll be honest, these bank collapses, I know a lot of people have gotten more fearful, and it's even drove the narrative that the market's going to come down, but I'm starting to think that we could see it go the other way at this point. Now, I know that there's a lot of people that's been saying that the Fed could do a 50-point basis hike at their next meeting. I held fast saying that I figured they would just hold steady at the 25 basis points. However, there is some people starting to say that maybe this could be where the Fed pivots. You know, the Fed has been driving forward. They've been trying not to get that hard landing, as they call it. They want this soft landing. And so they've been trying to drive the economy to get inflation down without breaking it. And now we see these banks starting to collapse. Well, that is the economy breaking. So could this be the pivot point? Could the Fed come out and say that they're not going to do a rate hike? Because if that happens, even with the banks collapsing, that's going to be good for the market. That's going to start pushing equities back up, which will help the banks not to collapse. And at the end of the day, the Fed is part of the banking cartels. So the Fed don't want to see the banks crash. The Fed wants the banks to do well. You got to remember, at the end of the day, your money don't need banks, but banks need your money. So banks collapsing, that's not good for them. They can't trick you into trusting them if they're out there collapsing. So they want to do good so that you keep putting your money in there. And of course, I went on a little rant yesterday about how I really don't like banks, especially to have my money in them. But that's a whole nother topic. What we're talking about now is, could the Fed pivot based on the fact that these banks are starting to collapse? Could we actually see, let's see here, let me take a look here at the SPY. I was looking for us to hit that 380 and then roll down from there. We hit a low of 380.65. Could that become a resist or a support level? Could we bounce from here and get back up over 4,000? I'm beginning to think that's very possible. We'll see how the market does today, see if it actually picks a direction. We'll talk about it more this afternoon, and until then, be blessed, and remember, never trade with your emotions, always trade